Hey folks, this is Brian here from the Coastal Patrol Cub, here to do another quick video on my Pinegar Aviation Trig radio setup. As just to answer a couple of questions as well as kind of show the interior. So one of the questions I got on the last video was, is the battery included in the unit? And yes, it is. It's right down there. And then asking, how do you charge? And again, I've got this 12-volt cigarette lighter style plug right there, and I have a power brick that plugs into that to charge it up. So yes, radio or battery is integral to the unit. So this literally has everything except the antenna for radio and intercom. Also, in my last video, I mentioned radio has 9 or 10 presets. I said in the last video it's 9, so there are 9 presets on the video, or excuse me, on the radio. And then one other cool thing that this radio does is it also has a monitor function. So like right there, now I'm monitoring the second radio. So what you could do is, for example, I think I have guard programmed in. Just flip it here, flip it through my memory presets, and I think 9, yep, there's guard. And so now I've got guard in the secondary, and I hit that. Now I would be, listening and transmitting on 122.9, but also monitoring a guard, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so that is kind of the externals, but I wanted to show kind of the internals here, because again, they did a really good job on this radio. So you can see kind of all the internal wiring here. Everything is nicely, all the terminals are really well done. Everything's kind of nicely tied up together. You've got these two big plastic barrels there are the disconnect for the radio, or for the battery. So if you want to pull the battery out, and the battery is held to the whole frame here by this this strap, and got this kind of insulating cover on it. So if any screws or anything fell, shouldn't have to worry about shorting out the battery. But yeah, so you can disconnect these plugs here and pull the battery out if you need to for replacements down the line, what have you. Box down there is the radio itself, which of course goes up to the control head up here. Now, so here's what I'm going to be doing with mine. I mentioned in my last video, but I actually don't care for the push-to-talk switch on the radio itself. I prefer to have it on the sticks. And again, had I been the one to order this radio, I'm sure I could have asked for that option and just not have this button here. So it's not the fault of Pinegar at all, and they will customize the radios, pretty well. It's just this was how ours got ordered, and I would like to change it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this push-to-talk switch out, and what I got is same exact style they've got here. Might even be the same manufacturer, who knows, but a couple of USB plugs. So I'm going to be putting that there instead, and running wires out to, I've got my control sticks here, and I'll be adding the push talk buttons on both my control sticks. So that is one change I'm going to make. The other thing I'm going to do is I have 2 of these. I'm going to put one here on the radio for things like charging phone, iPad, whatever, that I'll keep handy up by me when I'm flying. But I'm also going to put another one of these back on the interior of my cargo compartment in the back, because that is where I keep my GPS puck, which runs off USB power. So I'm going to add in a pigtail here on the radio that'll go out the same way. This is the antenna line here. I don't want to knock the whole thing over. The antenna line here, that pigtail's off to connect to the main line out to the antenna. So I'm going to run a pigtail as well for power. I've got the plug here that I'm going to use to wire in that I can disconnect, and that'll be a 12-volt power line running back to my cargo compartment. So I'm going to have a couple of disconnects here, smaller ones for push-to-talk switches in both the control sticks, and then I'm going to have this running 12-volt power back to the cargo compartment of the airplane for another USB plug-in back there. So that's kind of how I'm customizing my setup. And when I go and install everything, so I'll do some more footage after I install, actually do the wiring here. That'll, I'll edit onto this video, and then I'll do another video with everything back installed in my Cub. So one thing I'm going to say is, again, the wiring on here is really, really nice, and I don't want to mess with it. I'm not super concerned about, warranty considerations or whatever, because, there's this again, it's a very nice setup, but there's also nothing cosmic about it, right? If anything on the here breaks, I can fix it. So I'm not too worried about that, but it's really nice wiring and I don't want to mess it up. So what I'm going to do here is, you can see in here, this is the voltage display, and it actually does have one USB plug, or actually two, I guess, a normal USB-A and then a USB-C on there. Oh, that's something I didn't show before and I just bumped it, but you can actually turn that display on and off if you want to. I like it on though. But anyway, so that just has, the spade plug style connectors on it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically create an intermediate cable in there that's going to have the spade as well as a plug that'll go on there and branch off and go over to the power that I add over here, as well as the power going out to the cargo area, if that makes sense. That should make sense when it's all said and done. You'll be able to see what I did, but that is my plan. All right, so I'm back here at the hangar now, and I have completed my modifications to my radio setup. So see, as I talked about here, I removed the push-to-talk switch and added this little USB power adapter there. And then what I have done, I've got pigtails here. These little bullet style connectors are for each of the control sticks. The wires going out to their push-to-talk switches on each control stick. And then this little double barrel connector here goes to another power line for another USB power connector that I'm going to be putting in the baggage compartment of the airplane to run my Stratix puck. So once I have all that stuff actually put in the airplane, I'll do a little video of that. All right, so here it is, the final Trig radio setup. So I got it back in the airplane. As you can see, I've got it installed push-to-talk switches on both sticks. So now, rather than push-to-talk switch here, that obviously only a rear seat pilot could get to, and that, you'd have to take your hands off of control to press on the radio. Now I've got, stick-mounted push-to-talk switches. Go ahead and power this up here. So what I add in its place, I got a couple of USB ports there. I'm going to add a mount probably on the back of the seat. I'm still kind of working out what I want to do there, but I think I'm going to do back of the seat mount for phone and iPad, or probably just iPad, honestly, and just keep my phone in the pocket here as a backup, but that way they can both be plugged in getting power if I want. It's, I might not need that or use that much, but it's handy, and it was something to do with the hole that was left by taking off the push-to-talk switch. So run power to both of those, and then this is the cool thing. So back here in the baggage compartment, I also ran, you can see there's a USB power right back there. There's my Stratix puck that gives me GPS and ADS-B. You can see that cord curled up there is a USB extension cable that runs out to my actual GPS puck, which is mounted hidden away in the back of the airplane, so that when you shut everything up, I got in the antenna cable, I've got the antennas on my phone here. Oh. My antenna's here on the top front of the airplane, so the cable runs from there, runs back along the wing route here, down over the turtle deck here underneath, and then it comes out and runs up to the Trig radio itself. All the connections come out in this back corner here, so I can disconnect everything to pull the radio out if I need to, or pull the sticks if I need to, that sort of thing. So nothing is hardwired in per se, and it certainly cleans up, the previous handheld radio setup we had. The antenna cable popped out of the fabric there and ran down this. You can see there's still all black residue from the electrical tape that the previous owner used to attach the cables, and then there were suction cups with the radios and everything. It was just a big mess. So that's one thing that's really nice about this setup is, man, everything is clean and tidy and darn near looks like it was made to be this way, and all while maintaining, zero electrical system, just the battery in there. And then obviously, I've got the battery now powering everything in the airplane that needs power, which, you know, will obviously limit battery life somewhat, but again, it's supposed to be an 8-hour life on the battery as delivered. So even if, say, I doubled the battery usage, which I know I did not, but if I did, you're still talking 4 hours of battery life. And I'm certainly not flying this airplane for 4 hours straight. So plenty sufficient for what I need. And then the nice thing too, since it's a 12-volt charger, I've got a wall charger for this. I have thought about, you know, for when I do go on the road, getting a little solar panel, and you know, certainly a 12-volt solar charge will be something that'd be very easy to implement. So yeah, there it is. There's the final setup.